We're Batman at 89. Greetings, citizens of Gotham, and welcome to Batminute 89, the show where we investigate Tim Burton's Batman and drunkenly kiss Bruce Wayne because he's so damn dashing, 1 minute at a time, 3 days a week. I am one of your hosts, John Parker.
I am the other host, Niall McGowan.
Yes, and we are joined once again by, what should I call you, YouTube star? Is that?
It sounds extreme, but I like it. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll go with that. YouTube star Dael Kingsmill.
Hello, thanks for having me back.
Were you comfortable in the Dan and John's basement for the past couple of days? Because Kit last week, we had that flooding problem, and you'll know because you had to sleep in that floating mattress that it's still not fixed. But we thought to make it more like Batman-esque, we unleashed all those bats in there. So I don't know if that.
Yeah, other times that I've been kidnapped, I've needed more water. It was the opposite problem this time.
Oh, finally. And those bats didn't bite you or anything, did you? Because I'm not saying to panic, but I'm just saying you might want to get that checked.
Well, I have high hopes for becoming a vampire, so, fingers crossed.
This is minute 35. And the minute starts with a delightful stroll up some stairs and ends with a much-needed bathroom break. That was quite vague, which is what I'm hoping for. So yes, as we return to the movie, Napier is still cackling, as you said last minute, Niall. It was cut off slightly by the previous minute. So he's still cackling as he stumbles off and ascends the staircase.
Yeah, best part of the laugh too, because it's like he has two tiers of it. Because he starts off at it, and then just after they cut, he goes into this more like, like it gets a second wind of the laugh. But it always annoys me because, again, this is my favorite scene, and this bit of it is one of my favorite parts. And it always annoys me on YouTube that they always cut off the end of the laugh because they're like, well, it goes into the bit with, Bruce and Vicki. But
you also need it.
Yeah, because it's got that really echoing effect of it. You see them, but you still hear the echoes of that's the atmosphere. That's great. But they do that as well with my other favorite Joker laugh is from Mask of the Phantasm, the animated film with Mark Hamill doing the Joker, and there's a bit where he's talking to this guy in his office, and then he does this great it makes you want to laugh, doesn't it, Hardy? And it has this shadow. You see his shadow looming over him, and then it goes a close up of his mouth, and it goes in this real but it cuts then to the hospital because the guy's been smilexed or whatever. And it's him in hysterics, the doctor's trying to help him, and him just cackling laughter, and it's really great. But when they put it on YouTube, they always cut that bit. And it's that's the best part of the scene. But
be better at editing.
Yes, get some lessons, please. Because this is fantastic. Because the way it cuts from that scene to, as Niall said there, Vicki and Bruce also ascending a staircase. Nice little parallel there, and you can hear Napier's laugh over the footage. I thought that was nice. That was very ominous.
It's almost as though the Joker and Batman are in some ways the same.
Oh my God.
I know.
You notice as well that we'll get into it when it happens in the minute, but Bruce is taking off Vicky's shoes. But as the Joker runs up the stairs, he very mindfully remembers to grab his coat and hat. Because it's just a bit of and all the hysterics, he's like, oh, nope, don't forget my hat.
That's vital. He needs that, damn it.
I'm always wondering as well, because that's the last we see of Dr. Davis. I wonder, when everything else in the film happens, I wonder what his reaction is, because he's just he knows who this guy is. Is he just ooh, wow, dodged a bullet there.
He packs and leaves that minute. He does not stick around after that, surely. There's not enough for him there anyway.
Well, there is a bit later in the movie where the Joker seems to imply that he's killed the good doctor.
Well, yeah, he has, as my plastic surgeon always says, when you gotta go with a smile. But I always thought that, is he talking about his literal...
Well, you don't know for sure.
Oh,
he's
you know
implying
what?
it.
Napier's problem is he went to his bullet removal guy for his plastic surgery.
I thought they were the same thing. That's where I would go. Because we've all got a good bullet removal guy, haven't we?
We just find out then his actual his actual plastic surgeon is ringing him up. Jack, you didn't come to me. I thought it was your guy, man. You went to the bald guy instead.
It was discount Tuesdays at Dr. Davis.
But it's a nice little plug there for Dr. Davis's surgery at discount.
Yeah, look it up on Google. Get in touch with Davis. He'll do you a great deal. Just use the reference code BM89.
And then we say a great deal. Potentially, he'll leave you with a horrific rictus grin. But
actually, we haven't had any sponsors yet. We should just start plugging Squarespace like every other podcast and see if they just send us money.
That's be like in the middle of the conversation, I'll be like, Dale, I know you like to cook, but you don't have the time to go out and get all the ingredients. Well, let me tell you about Blue Apron. And then you just hear you snoring, and then it's like, I don't listen to these when they're on actual podcasts. I'm not going to have you dictate about Blue Apron to me now.
Well, let me tell you about MeUndies. Which,
John, you were constantly talking about your underwear to me. I don't know why that would be any different.
I can't help myself. I mean, I've got stylish underwear. That's what it is. But with regards to Batman and the Minute, as I say, Bruce and Vicki going up the staircase. Vicki is very drunk. Very, very drunk. And Bruce seems fine. And this seems to annoy her. Now, this ties into something I was saying in a previous minute where we weren't sure if Bruce drinks or not in this version. Because he does say, hey, one drink and I'm flying. Yeah. So is he saying, I've just had the one, I'm going to, take it easy tonight because I can't really drink? Or is he saying, he doesn't really, like, he's got a hardy constitution?
Even one.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his approach is.
I had this conversation with my sister just like a couple of weeks ago about whether he means that he has been drinking, but he's just like, he's absolutely fine, or whether he's not been drinking because he doesn't want to risk getting drunk.
Yeah. And the thing is, if he's not getting drunk deliberately, this is all what the kids these days would call problematic, because he's essentially got a woman drunk and now he's moving in for the kill, basically. It's a bit like
escorting her upstairs.
So it's a bit like, oh, that Batman, he ain't all about justice, you know. He's
super shady.
She does seem very, very keen, though. I mean, she grabs him by the tie and pulls him close. That was quite forward of her.
You can't consent if you're drunk.
That's true. That is very true. I mean, she seems to have come around with the motive of maybe not seducing him. That sounds like shady. But she seems to have come around with the idea of, well, I like him. He's a nice guy. Yeah.
But I don't think afterwards Vicki Vale's gonna be like, I feel violated. I'm pretty sure she's game throughout the rest of their relationship.
He's a nice guy, though. As I say, I don't think he would do anything. I think he's taken her upstairs to sort of let her lay down.
Even though he goes out and kills people, he's a nice guy. That was a throwback. That was a callback to the last one. See what I did?
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Who goes to someone's house on a first date for dinner?
Oh, we got into that. Don't you worry about it.
That confused me, especially because he's this really rich guy. You'd think he'd try and impress her. I suppose taking her to his house might be an impressive thing, but you'd take her out.
But also, you run the risk of Alfred just cock-blocking you the entire night.
Well, that's potentially what we thought he was doing last minute when he had the just telling embarrassing stories about Bruce's first writing lesson and stuff.
Absolutely.
But as well as it's Bruce's body language is pretty bad as well, because he's got the old hand up above her head on the wall. It's kind of looming over her a bit as well.
Yeah,
and it's
it does look a bit dodgy.
Yeah, it's all very Although, because we did at least see him drinking as well, so we can take maybe he is a bit, he's buzzing as well. He's just not as fallen over himself as she is. But in the original script, the OG script, it comes a lot better, or comes off a lot worse actually. Sorry, because
she says thing to what I said.
It says, Vicki is giddy, all champagne'd up. And then she's like, but it's not fair. I'm half drunk and you're not even. And he says, would you like me to take you home? And she's like, God, you would. And then then she's like, come on, Bruce. I just want to get 2 drinks in you as an experiment. And then he says, maybe we should just kiss. And then they go
in. No.
It's like he had the bit of chivalry to be like, I should take this girl home. And he's like, nope, that formality is out of the way. yeah, I'm going in. This is all go now. So
Oh, I don't like that version of Bruce. No, that's ruined him.
yeah, and we did mention that in the original script as well, he was drinking ginger ale as well. So he wasn't. At this one, at least we see him drinking the wine. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he has at least one glass.
What if it was just like cranberry juice?
Oh, it could be, to be fair. It looks, well, the prop wine is clearly something like cranberry juice anyway.
Yeah.
It looks nothing like wine.
oh, though we did note last week that when he pours Vicki, because again, it looks like he's plying her with drink. Like he pours her a glass and then he takes a drink from it. So I guess it's definitely like, at least at that point, he was taking a sip of wine because he had the odd power play of like, I'm pouring you a drink and then I'm going to drink out of your glass. Take that, you know?
I think that must just be how he tries to woo women. I don't know. It's like being very aggressive like that.
He does dress as a bat. I'm just saying that, like, someone who dresses as a bat, social skills, not necessarily.
Oh, we did cover as well, like our assumption of like why he's taking her to his house is because this version of Bruce Wayne is like a complete social, invalid. Like he just doesn't.
Yeah, well, I mean, I suppose no one recognizes him at the party. Or, I mean, no one. I mean, the two reporters don't recognize him at the party. But, yeah, so he's clearly not a face guy in this version.
No, not at all. No. I thought I had something else. But, oh, yeah. Another thing as well is because he says they have this little... And I think they changed it for the better because it has this business of like, oh, no, one drink and I'm flying. And then she's like, oh, why are you afraid of flying? It's kind of like, bats flying, ha ha ha.
Nah, because he's Batman, get it?
But no, in the original script, it's way worse. Because he's just like, oh no, one drink and I'm swinging from the rooftops. And it's like, yeah, it was Batman, right? No.
Does that even make sense?
I don't think so.
I mean, maybe I'm getting drunk wrong, but that's not what I'm feeling.
But I think that was one of the ones for like, obviously somebody went like, can we let that a little less on the nose, Although we'll get into it later on because the OG script Bruce Wayne, he is the outgoing, gregarious, face guy, and he is cheesy as hell because he is just like later on the script. He's all when Vicki Vale knows who it is and. He's in the Batman disguise. And she keeps calling him Bruce, and Batman's all like, "Who's this Bruce? I don't know any Bruce." And it's like reading it, I was just like, "Oh God, this is awful." But
as much as we hate that one, though, at least he knows how to take a woman out on a date because he takes her out on the town, and he also takes her on his yacht, which is he's showing off. But at least he's not just taking her around the house to meet essentially his dad.
But have you ever been wooed by a millionaire, Dale? Where you've had have they just brought you over to the house and been like, right, we're gonna sit and talk to my dad for a bit, and then I'm gonna get you drunk, and that's the way that's gonna happen.
Look, that's the best way to win a woman's heart. Absolutely.
Because we're gonna put that on our posters now. It's just like that best way to win a woman's heart: get her drunk and just invite her around to your house.
So here's the house tour. This is not my dad. My dad is dead. But dad figure, here's an old guy to tell you stories about me. So that way I don't have to do it myself. Yeah.
Well, he does one thing that I thought would be a big no-no. When they're drunk on the stairs, and just before he goes in for the kiss, he's carrying a shoe for her, and he just tosses it aside. Completely just throws her what looks like an expensive shoe. Yeah. Just treats it with no regard at all.
To be fair, like it is like if he damages the shoe, it's just like, well, I'll buy you a new one. Like it's like he's
That's true. Or he better.
Yeah.
But then you've got to wear them in. I mean, wearing in a new pair of shoes is a nightmare. And I imagine it's even worse with heels. Jeez.
Yeah. I'll get Alfred to do that for her. It's like, Alfred will wear them for a week.
I don't trust Bruce to buy her replacement shoes though. Because, okay, I mean, I know that we're sticking to the minute, but just like to dip into the future a little bit, they go on this one weird house date and then kind of don't talk to each other for ages, but everyone's kind of like, oh, they're dating now.
Yeah.
But he just ignores her. It's fine. Whatever. Minute 35.
He's playing hard to get. That's his style.
But one thing I noticed as well, like, because we've seen, like last week we were trying to decipher the painting on the wall in the date room. And then there's more paintings up above the old Wayne staircase here. But like it made a lot to mind because this is like ornate kept paintings. And then the other time we will really see paintings heavily featured in the film is when the Joker's trashing the museum. That's supposed to be like a yin and yang kind of thing. It's like, this is Bruce Wayne is all order and ornate classical paintings that are kept pristine. And then whereas the Joker is
with respect.
Yeah. And then the Joker is like, nope, complete chaos and just destroying everything that is supposed to be good and artful and beautiful and all that kind of stuff. So.
But in doing so, he creates his own art. We'll get into that later.
What is the nature of art?
Yes, let's break that down now for 25 minutes.
Break it down now. But then, I was just wondering, do we think that this Bruce Wayne is an art lover? Because he seems like he's a guy who's like his whole thing, his whole life is being Batman. Like this date is a real, like, this is completely new territory for him because he doesn't interact with people socially. It could be like, can you imagine him standing around looking at paintings and musing on them? Or is it more like, I'm busy down in the cave building a Batmobile? Like, I'm not going to be...
I mean, the closest we get to him appreciating art overtly is when he sneaks up behind Vicki and sort of does that little rambling thing about where he got the suit of armor, which, I mean, it's not exactly the same thing.
Oh, no, I guess he does mention... He's seen her work, the pictures from Cordo Maltese. He's like, oh, you have a wonderful eye. So I guess that actually, I guess he does.
That's current affairs.
And even the Joker cares about that.
No, I think it's just the wonderful eye bit, though. It means like it seems like he has an appreciation for how the photos look, at least. So
I think that's to keep up maybe some kind of an appearance, though. If someone does come round to talk to him, he can just sort of go... talk about things in the house for a while, distract them. Because I can't imagine him walking around, appreciating these pictures, maybe going to the gallery and picking up more. I think these are just things his family have had, and he leaves them. Like, I think Alfred knows more about these than him.
Yeah.
But here's a thought, though. He has to have some kind of at least people must believe that he has an appreciation for art, because Vicki totally buys that she's going on a date with him at the gallery. Why would he invite her there after their terrible house date if he didn't like art?
Well, that would fit his image, though. Playing along with it. Because if you're this millionaire guy, what are you going to do in your spare time? You probably would, get into art and things like that. So it fits. Although he's not as outgoing as we said as, say, the Christian Bale Batman.
Yeah. Of course, if it was like the comic book Batman as well, it's like he'd be an expert in all art. And like, that's always the way it is. It's like, Bruce Wayne knows everything about everything ever. Like, he's just...
all the time.
Yeah. I think that someone did specify like the amount of degrees he's supposed to have, because it's just he studied everything. He's supposed to be... Yeah.
How has he got the time for that? That's insane.
Yeah, I guess millionaire playboys guy doesn't have to work. Although again, they always show him working.
Batman.
He's always the CEO of Wayne Enterprises. He's doing loads of work. But
what if he's just a lying mansplainer? Like, what if he just claims to have all this expert knowledge so that he can get away with telling people stuff that he made up?
Yeah, and you probably wouldn't question him.
Yeah. Plus, his whole life is a lie as well. So it's like, well, I mean, a couple of little lies underneath this huge one that I'm keeping from everyone. There's nothing to me, So
he's both the ultimate mansplainer then and Mary Sue. So he's both combined.
Manny Sue. There he is.
There he is.
Or Manny Splue. Sorry. Anyway, again, going back to the OG, because in this minute, we then cut to Grissom's office. But there is a bit in the OG script that was, again, another thing that should have cut of Jack Napier, or it's not Jack Napier anymore, but him running into the building, and it's supposed to be like a young punk sees like the shock of green hair. And he's like, hey, man, nice hair. And it's like... I thought like they cut that out, and I was like, yeah, probably for the best. It's a bit too cute, that really, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Although that made me think of something I actually forgot in the last minute, so I'm breaking protocol here. I've just thought, the doctor, right, when Napier when he's taken the bandages off, and the doctor sees his face, he gasps.
Yeah.
Surely the doctor saw his face the whole time he was doing the surgery.
I think maybe it's more like I'm guessing he's over the whole green hair, white skin bit. It might just be that he's seeing now that it's supposed to have healed or whatever.
How long did it take to heal? Okay, wait, no, this raises more questions.
Because he was surely only there for like a couple of hours. It's still the same night, isn't it?
It's at most the next night.
Yeah, I suppose he actually. Yeah, I suppose because there's no evidence of. I think in the original script though, it does mention he's supposed to. It's more like a scarring than it's more like the Heath Ledger Joker, the way they describe it. Yeah. But and the Australian represent there, Dale. You guys got the best one.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
I'm not doing the oi oi oi.
No, oi oi oi. I'll finish it myself.
Wait, I'm not allowed as an Englishman. It's against the law.
Yeah. It's true.
When you get arrested in England, they send you to Australia as well. That's the thing. So it's like it's this weird oxymoron. But yeah, I suppose there is a question. It's like, yeah, right enough. There's no evidence of any actual damage beyond the fact that he's got this rictus grin. But that healed really, really quickly. That's a good point. And
surely that doctor was the one doing the surgery. He knows what he looks like. Why is he shocked?
Yeah.
Jack should be shocked.
He is a very terrible doctor. So maybe he was just doing random stuff, didn't know how it was going to look under the bandages. Yeah.
He was eating his pizza while he was doing it. He wasn't really looking.
Exactly.
He was snorting the gas as well. He's like, come on, I know what I'm doing.
But with this minute, as you said, now we cut now to Grissom in what it's meant to be, of course, his snazzy sort of penthouse that we saw before, I think. Yeah. But the door on this bathroom, that's a weird door for your bathroom.
It looks like a vault.
It looks like a vault, or like you're on a ship.
Maybe he's got a shy bladder. He wants to make really certain no one can get in.
Imagine that, like, it's got like having to wind down the huge wheel on the other side to make sure it's shut. And like,
yeah.
I mean, maybe he just doesn't want anyone to hear him when he's in there, because I'm one of those people. If you're out in a public space, I won't be too graphic, but you're in the stall. Someone else walks into the room.
It's stressful.
It's stressful. I just wait.
Yes. No, I'm right there with you. Or I have a bladder of steel. This is definitely too much information for a Batman-themed podcast, but I am excellent at just not having to go to the bathroom until I'm home.
Oh my god. Yeah. I am the complete opposite. Every 5 minutes.
Oh no, but I think we mentioned it when me and John, when we guested on Spinal Tap minutes, they're finished up now, but we were on there for like pretty much the final minutes of the film. The thing I brought up because one of my boasts is that, like, much like Eddie K. Thomas in American Pie, when I was in secondary school, I never once went to the bathroom in that school. So it's just like, it's disgusting. I'm never going in there, and I never did.
I can go 6 hours without having to. Yeah, exactly. I can't remember if I ever went to the bathroom in my high school.
Well, even if I could do that, I wouldn't these days, because I'm fully aware of the fact that if I go at work, I'm getting paid. So
ooh, that's a good point. Also, I mean, I suppose there's the flip side. The fact that I can hold my bladder for 6+ hours probably just means that I'm severely dehydrated.
But if any other people have bladder stories, it's right to the Batman at 89 Facebook page. And
or
everybody
tweet in.
Pees, even Batman.
Yes.
Does he have a zip on the batsuit? That is a question.
I'm thinking it might have to be like a cathode system in that batsuit, So he doesn't want to have to worry about it, but he's like, I'm not going to.
How do astronauts deal with it?
I guess it'd be the same way, I suppose.
Yeah. They just go in the suit and it kind of collects it in like a bag, doesn't it? That they can then sort of dispose of. Is how I think it works, but maybe they've changed that.
I'm learning important things today.
Well, you think you are. I might be well off now. They could have completely changed the system.
But live like Bruce. Just pretend that you're an expert.
Yes.
And it's fine.
That's
the whole podcast. That's exactly what we're doing.
But anyway, in this little snippet we get, Grissom seems to be like he's showering at night. He's doing the old shower before bed routine, which is that's something I'm a fan of. Because I think like the shower in the morning is more like that's designed to wake you up as well. This is more like unless you're really busy, unless he's up at like 5:30 or something.
Showers make me sleepy.
Really?
Is it the warmth?
Yeah, I think so. And brushing my teeth wakes me up.
You're Team Grissom on this one then. You're
Yeah, I think I'm Team Grissom. Because you know what? Despite him going out and killing people, he's really a good guy.
Yes, he's a lovely fella.
He looks like a lovely old man there, you know. But if I'm him, if I'm at the top of the tower, so to speak, I'm the head honcho. You know, I'm probably not doing a lot of actual groundwork.
That's true.
And I'm rich. I've got nothing else going on in my day. I'd probably have 1 or 2 extra showers. You know? So why not? You might as well. He's living a life of luxury. Look at that robe, right? That material.
Yeah.
That looks like a nice material. Although it does look
Shiny.
slippy. Yeah, it looks like if you sat on a leather sofa or something, you'd just slide off. That's the only problem with that.
Well, I mean, that's the whole point of this. Oh, this robe slides right off. Let me tell you that.
oh God, no.
when Grissom's got a bit of action going, this thing comes off at a blink of an eye.
So if you want to send us your Grissom and Jack /fic, please feel free.
Please do.
It'll be all over Tumblr.
That's horrific and wonderful.
But speaking of fancy things that Grissom owns, I actually did find, I was looking in to see if I get any information on his beautiful desk that he has.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find anything on the main desk, but there's one to the right-hand side. And apparently that it was sold at auction because I found the listing for it. It's Batman bespoke office desk made for the character Carl Grissom. Sold for 10,000 apparently.
Oh my god!
And it says mahogany, the top in 3 flat sections divided by 2 cylindrical inserts in the form of an aeroplane engines across the width containing drawers. The 2 outer tabletop sections in the form of airplane wings. 2 panels are inserted into the underside of the engines to form the legs. And it's a table identical to this can be seen in wide shots of the office. Oh, wait, identical to this? This isn't even the actual table then.
What?
Oh, it's not the same.
Oh my gosh.
This is Bonhams.com. The hell are you, Bonhams? Jeez.
I tell you what, though, it looks like a really inconvenient table. Like, I don't know what you'd use it for. Who would want that table other than, I don't know, Jim O'Kane of Airport Minute?
Well,
you know,
Grissom, clearly.
Or Grissom, yeah. What's his connection to aviation?
Because maybe it's just a rich guy thinks like that's a table I'm never going to use, but it looks kind of cool. So there you go.
Yeah, rich people do not have the best taste. Let's be honest.
That's true. Sometimes things that are more expensive are worse.
Oh yeah.
That's a very up to the minute Tumblr meme reference to a web series called The Gay and Wondrous Life of Caleb Gallo. There you go.
Oh, check that out. That's the recommendation for this episode.
Yeah, and it's an actually good one.
So I know we have a Tumblr, but I've never been on it. So I don't know what's going on in the...
Me saying that just made sure that this podcast is down with the kids.
Oh, yeah. We are the hip new show. Anyway, what are you talking about?
So I think like you're like a couple of years younger than us as well. So it's like Dael Kingsmill injecting some much needed youth into these creaky old 30-year-olds and their crotchety old podcast.
Back in my day,
I have to do it now while I'm still young. My birthday is on. Wait, no. Now there's gonna have to be an edit because I forgot when this is meant to come out.
This episode will be in like September 20th or thereabouts. I believe that'll be the air date. I think
None of this will make sense then. I was just about to say that my birthday is a week from now.
No, you can say as of recording, your birthday's a week from now.
As of recording, yeah.
Well, happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. Would say as well, like what age you're going to be, but I know that's not the done thing, so I'll just be like...
Not the done thing. No, I'm turning 24.
Everything changes when you hit 24, Dale. Legs start to go. Candy doesn't taste as good anymore.
They're already going. Let's be honest.
You can't drink. Unlike Grissom here, who's fixing himself a drink.
Yeah. Ooh, that was a good segue.
Oh, see what I did?
Done.
And he's celebrating your birthday there with a lovely drink. What is he making? I can't really see yet. I mean, I think I'm going to go with... He's probably either a whiskey or a brandy kind of guy.
I'm thinking brandy. I think that's the drink of rich
Scotch.
people.
Look at him.
The colour looks like a Scotch, I would say. But Brandy makes more sense to me. I don't know.
But yeah, and then we get again the return of I love that elevator sound. Although I can imagine like it's cool because we hear it twice, but I imagine it'll be really irritating being in Grissom's office and having to hear that like every time the elevator's coming up. Like, oh god, there's more people,
More visitors.
Also, oh no, I'll save this for the next minute actually, because you actually see the elevator in the next minute, don't you? So I'll hold on to that thought.
But yeah, in terms of the actual action of the minute, that's the end of that as well. Like we get someone's coming up that elevator, but
I wonder who it could be.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, that's all the notes I have for this minute. Unless you two guys have anything more you wanted to add in, but I suppose now would be a good time. Then, as our new guest, we should probably ask Dael, what's your deal? What's your deal with this film? What is this film to you? Like, what's your history with it?
Would you believe this specific Batman film? I mean, I saw it when I was young, like in my teens or whenever, when I was a youngin' back in the day. But I feel as though I only saw it really for the first time this year. Like, I know that I've watched it before. I know that I have, but I feel like this year was the only time that I was actually paying attention to it. Which is weird because I'm such a nerd, but yeah, it's my blind spot.
Well, quite a lot of people do, for some reason, dismiss this one until they watch it again now and realize, oh, it's actually like a lot better than I thought.
Yeah, I think there was a honeymoon period with the Dark Knight when that came out, and that was because it was a great film. But I think people were like, why would you ever need another film with Batman and the Joker? We've got this perfect one right here. And for a period, that was always like, nope, that's the pinnacle. But now, if you go back and look at this one, it's like, oh, this one's pretty good actually as well. It's actually, in some respects, it's a bit better, in some parts, and other parts not as much, and things like that.
My big beef with The Dark Knight, I love it. I think it's a brilliant, brilliant Batman movie. But my beef with it is that it went for like 15 minutes too long. Just cut out all the end stuff with Two-Face, like taking Gordon's family and whatever. Get rid of that. Save it for another film. Just end it after Batman catches the Joker. We didn't need any of the other stuff that happened after that.
That does tend to be a problem with his movies. I don't want to say a problem because he's a great filmmaker. I'm sure 100,000 times better than I would be at making it. But if you have a criticism, he does tend to let them run slightly too long. Yeah.
I think I actually though I really like that ending of The Dark Knight though, because I think one of the things I like about Chris Nolan films is that they're really breathless. Like he just like even like something like The Prestige, just like there's so much just going on. And the thing with The Dark Knight is it's really frenetic energy in terms of like there's only one real scene of like when it stops for a bit. There's like one bit of like Bruce and Maggie Gyllenhaal talking, and like in the middle of the film, and that lasts for like a minute. And the rest of it is just like as soon as it starts, it just keeps ramping up and up and up and up. And then even then, when you think like, oh, the Joker's caught, because there's bits like when he blows up that hospital, and then you see the next scene, he's back doing other things. It's like, geez, somebody really needs to stop this guy. And then when he's finally caught, you're like, oh, it's over. And it's like, nope, there's more coming in. And it's like this big emotional climax. And it's,
actually, you know what? You're probably right. I cut it off at the wrong point. I think I would cut it off just after you've got the sort of build-up of Harvey Dent leaving the hospital and whatever. And then you see him in the cab and he goes to shoot Julia Roberts' brother. He has a name, I'm sure. And the coin flip means that he's going to let him live, and then he flips for the driver as well, and you see the crash. That's the point where I would end it.
That sounds amazing. As soon as you started that sentence, that's what I was thinking. End it right there so you're not quite sure what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Totally.
It just made me think as well. It was like your dismissal of Eric Roberts is because... Like I think there's an episode of South Park where they get snowed in a TV station and Eric Roberts is there and they're just like, we're going to have to eat somebody. They've only been there for like 3 hours. We're like, no, we're going to have to eat somebody. And then it's just like, we got Eric Roberts. And like, yeah, nobody gives a shit about Eric Roberts.
Like, sorry, Eric Roberts.
Well, actually, while we are discussing these things, though, something we have not asked a single guest. Ooh. Do you have a favorite Batman movie?
Oh, do I have a favorite? Well, I mean, okay, look, we were just talking about The Dark Knight, and I'm wearing a Dark Knight shirt right now, a Joker shirt. It's like his clown mask from the main heist at the beginning, which I really like because people always look at it and they recognize it, but they don't know why.
Yeah, that's better. That's more subtle. I like that.
And that's also that though, because it's the thing that keeps popping up on the internet as well. Like that mask is a reference to the '60s show. It's like the Joker does a robbery in that. He's wearing that same mask. That's a bit like Chris Nolan. Like, there you go. I'm not above giving a tip for the hat to the old show, you know. So
it should have had the '60s Joker mustache badly, like painted out off. You know?
The Dark Knight might be my favorite. Or I'm trying to think if there's, because I'm also a big fan of the sort of original, the Adam West, super cheesy, campy Batman movie. You know, some days you just can't get rid of a bum. But there must be an animated Batman movie that's my favorite that I'm just not thinking of.
Yeah, well, I always go for this Mask of the Phantasm is the one I always like. That's the best. But then you always get that thing. It's like, well, an animated of all Batman films, I put that top. But then it's like, oh, live action ones, I guess. I tend to swing for, like, as a Batman movie, I always go Batman Begins, because like, well, that's the only one that's about him. And
that's true.
It's the most sort of emotional one as well, because it's properly dealing with, you know, the death of his parents, and there's all the, you know, the bit at the end when he's in the Wayne Manor's burning down. It's just him and Alfred, and he's just sort of realizing his failure and stuff. And it's all like, you don't really get that as much in some of the other ones, you know. It's like,
that's true.
So,
well, I think you'll find, though, that you're both wrong, because the correct answer is this movie or Returns.
But because I know as well, Dael, like, you're more of a Spider-Man girl. Like, you think you did a video on Spider-Man at one point, didn't you? But unless I'm just misremembering that.
No, I think you're right. I think one of my very earliest videos was back. Oh boy, I'm just remembering what my vlogging setup was like back then. I'm having Vietnam flashbacks. There was a video I made of me that was super out of focus, and I was trying to make Spider-Man paper dolls. And during that, I was talking about when I was a kid, I just loved Spider-Man. And I think when I was something like 3, I was given a Spider-Man costume for my birthday, and I wore it everywhere all the time. And I was super annoyed because people kept, like, grown-ups kept coming up and talking to me and saying, "Oh, you're so cute, you're Spider-Girl." And I was like, no, I'm Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a specific character that I admire and aspire to be like.
Is that why you keep spiders all over the house, hoping that they will bite you?
It is that, and just being Australian, you can't really help it, so you may as well just try to make it on purpose.
Yes, spiders the size of wolves.
Yeah. Is it in Australia? Because I seen a thing the other day, I think it's in Australia, the guy found, like, the hybrid spider-scorpion thing, and people were like, that is the most...
I would not be surprised.
Yeah, but it was all the pictures that, like, everyone was like, that was just the most terrifying thing I've ever seen in my life. But imagine to you it would be like, I see giant spiders all the time. It's nothing to me. You know, it's.
They're still not pleasant, but you do kind of get used to it.
But well, Vic, if you want to stay till Friday to do Friday's episode, we'll put some spiders down there in the basement with you. And
oh, I would love to. Thank you. That's so homey.
If you need some more stale bread to keep yourself alive, just bang on the pipe 3 times and we'll send it down on a little pulley. Yeah.
And the guy did say he's coming to fix the flood, but he said it may be Saturday, so it might be when you've left already. So
all right, well, I'll just focus on floating. Just get really zen.
Well, yeah, that wraps up minute 35 of Batman here on another lovely Wednesday. So make sure to join us again on Friday for minute 36 and send any messages you want, or, well, anything at all to do with Batman or the show in general to our Batminute 89 Listeners Society, or tweet us at Batminute89.
But especially the fan fiction. About
yes,
Grissom.
The more fan fiction you send us, the better. To be perfectly honest, it'll give us a lot of content. So we should start breaking down the fanfic of these things. And Dael, have you got anything you'd like to plug once again?
Yeah, people can check me out on YouTube. My channel is called Monarchs Factory, and on Twitter I am @DailyDael. But you can basically find me anywhere by Googling Dael Kingsmill, because I'm terrible at branding myself and have too many different names across all the social media platforms.
Well, make sure to do that, though, everybody. And also, make sure to join us again on Friday for minute 36.
Next time, salute to a silhouette. As another Dael ends for gruesome Grissom, the Cosa Nostra commander decants a nightcap. But which shadowy spectre will leave him shaken and stirred? It's another minute fit for a Kingsmill. This Friday, same bat pod.
Different Bat Minute.